Welcome to this training on Oracle Flow Builder, which is part of Oracle Functional Testing. Oracle's application testing suite is the central piece of Oracle's application quality management portfolio. It offers three main components, namely Oracle Functional Testing, Oracle Load Testing, and Oracle Test Manager. If you are testing Oracle package applications like Oracle eBusiness Suite, Siebel, Fusion Applications, JD Edwards, PeopleSoft, or Hyperion, you are using the same tools, but they are licensed from the applications price lists and are then named Oracle Functional Testing Suite for Oracle applications or Oracle Load Testing Suite for Oracle applications. Oracle provides specific accelerators to support the Oracle packaged applications. This makes scripting much quicker and will also help create robust scripts that requires less maintenance. And this is of course important because as a user you would like to minimize the time that you have to spend on either creating or maintaining your test automation scripts. When looking at testing, the testing challenges for packaged applications like Oracle's eBusiness Suite is that to test all changes that you have in the application from a manual perspective takes much too long time. And business users seldom have the time to step in every time and do updates or test updates, repeat this over and over again because they have their own tasks that they have to deal with. If you look at it from a test automation perspective, it's sometimes difficult for organizations to find the technical resources that they need in order to create the test automation. Another problem is that the business processes changes every now and then, and this may then impact the test automation scripts that have been created. So they need to be updated or maintained, and this is of course then again an additional effort that has to be put into the calculation. Oracle introduces a new approach to test Oracle eBusiness Suite applications. It helps to dramatically reduce testing time. It minimizes the need for technical resources to create the test automation. It reduces the testing complexity, and it minimizes the effort to keep your test automation scripts current and up to date. We are introducing Oracle Flow Builder, a keyword-driven testing framework. Let's begin with discussing what is keyword-driven testing. Keyword-driven testing is basically another way of creating test automation scripts. Traditionally, you would record transaction flows against an application and all the different actions that the user performs with the application is recorded into a script. You could then later parameterize this script, insert verification points to validate different data or values coming out of the application. But in this case, we do not have to have the application available to us. We do not record anything. We're defining the test automation script by using keywords. So this enables non-technical resources to compose these test flows or test automation scripts by basically defining user actions that combined becomes the test automation flow. The user actions that are used with keyword-driven testing frameworks are typically operations like click, set text, select, and so on. The test flows that are created with the keyword-driven testing framework are then later on transformed into executable test scripts that can run against your application to verify the functionality of it. So how do customers typically implement keyword-driven testing frameworks? Well, they have to start with some kind of platform to harness the keyword testing framework. And this could be an open source solution, or it could be a commercial solution. Then the testers typically analyze the application that needs to be tested and defines what kind of keywords are needed in order to do testing or test automation for this application. Some developers or technical resources implement the keywords and map these to code. Keywords like click and objects like button could then generate code like web.button, then the specific object that you want to interact with, .click for instance. And this would perform a click on a button object. Once this is done, non-technical testers can use the keywords to create their test automation flows. They might need to bind test data to the flows. Last but not least, you generate the test automation scripts and can start your testing. The benefits of a keyword-driven testing framework is that the maintenance effort over time, at least, is considerably lower compared to traditionally recorded scripts. And the test scripts are also mostly in a more readable form, which makes it easier to present the flows to test managers, to management generally seen. And the test cases are also, in most cases, very easy to modify. You can reuse keywords, and if implemented well, the test scripts tend to be more robust. If the framework allows you to, it may also support multiple test automation tools. The drawbacks, however, are that you typically need a technical resource or a developer to define the keywords. And these solutions are only suitable if you have a high reusability with the content that you produce. It also takes quite some time to get ready to do the testing because you have to implement the keyword-driven testing framework and all the keywords. The learning curve is initially a little bit steeper with these kind of solutions. The Oracle Functional Testing Suite for Oracle applications offers both traditional record playback through the OpenScript scripting environment. This is something that we have had for years. It provides robust test automation scripts for Oracle applications. It's based on Java, so you can extend the script using Java code. We are now introducing Flow Builder, which is a keyword-driven testing framework that you can use in order to generate your test automation scripts without recording. We also include pre-built flows and components that allows you to do testing of eBusiness Suite in a much faster way than ever possible before. And if you combine your own flows and your own data with the existing flows and components and the Flow Builder framework, you can dramatically reduce your testing efforts and generate scripts for testing Oracle eBusiness Suite. The big difference with Flow Builder compared to other solutions is that the keywords needed to test Oracle eBusiness Suite are already in place. So they have already been defined for the user. We also provide a very rich library of predefined components and test automation flows. A component could be something like log in, create purchase order header, create purchase order line. And we have over 2,100 pre-built components that spans across all different modules of Oracle eBusiness Suite. And based out of these 2,100 components, we have over 200 test automation flows across these modules that the testers can use to jumpstart their eBusiness Suite testing. The concept of Oracle Flow Builder is that you have keywords that defines the different actions that we want to mimic. Multiple keywords forms a component. You can then take multiple components, chain them together, create component sets, which is then a predefined sequence of components. You can use the components and the component sets in any combination you want and create flows. A flow will then generate a test automation script that is executable using Oracle functional testing. You can execute this either from a command line, from Oracle OpenScript, which is the scripting environment, or from Oracle Test Manager. You can create the components either by using Oracle Flow Builder's browser-based UI or offline by using a Microsoft Excel template. If you need to customize or change a component based on your customizations of Oracle E-Business Suite, you can easily do so as well. This is the architecture of Oracle Flow Builder. Oracle Flow Builder uses an Oracle Enterprise Edition database as repository and runs on a WebLogic application server. Users can interact with Flow Builder through the web-based UI using a Firefox web browser. Please note that Microsoft Internet Explorer currently is not supported. Users can also use Microsoft Excel to create components offline. From Flow Builder, they can generate Oracle functional testing based scripts. Users can also be notified via email. Oracle Flow Builder addresses the testing challenges by reducing the need for manual testing, freeing up the business users from the manual testing. It also requires less technical resources, allowing non-technical testers or even power users to create test automation flows. And whenever the business processes change, the Flow Builder can be used to quickly and with minimum effort update test automation scripts or components in order to keep the scripts up to date. Oracle Flow Builder reduces the effort required to do testing by offering a keyword-driven testing framework and pre-built components for Oracle E-Business Suite. It also helps to reduce the testing time because test automation scripts can be developed even before the application is available. It offers a quick and easy maintenance of the test content. And it eliminates all the major drawbacks of keyword-driven testing by providing predefined keywords and predefined components and flows. Oracle E-Business Suite Quality Assurance team have been using Oracle Flow Builder for their test automation, and they are saving up to 60% of their time compared to using record playback. Oracle Application Testing Suite helps you to reinvent the application testing for Oracle E-Business Suite. It offers an optimized solution for Oracle applications. It helps you to jumpstart EBS testing with the predefined content. And it allows organizations to become truly agile. It empowers non-technical resources to be part of the testing. It's easy to work with. It's easy to maintain components and create them. And it helps customers to maintain their test scripts with a minimal effort. Truly reduces the complexity of testing. And most important of all, it allows customers to test every single change. It allows customers to uptake new patches, new updates, new versions of the applications in a secure and manageable way. It allows customers to become truly agile as an organization. Now let's take a look at how to work with the tool. Oracle Flow Builder is a part of Oracle functional testing, and if you are testing Oracle applications, you are using Oracle Functional Testing Suite for Oracle applications. FlowBuilder is a keyword-driven testing framework that allows users to create test automation scripts by defining keywords and components rather than recording transactions. We're going to log in here to FlowBuilder as the administrator user. As you can see, the user has access to a web browser-based UI. And on the welcome screen, the user is presented with top notifications around components that have been approved, or if the user has to approve any user access to FlowBuilder, for instance. You also see a list of the most recent components that have been created. You can change your access rights and request access rights. On the top of the screen, we can go to the so-called components. Oracle FlowBuilder is specifically designed to work with Oracle's eBusiness Suite applications and offers a really broad range of components that are pre-built for all different applications within Oracle's eBusiness Suite. In fact, Oracle FlowBuilder is shipped with over 2,100 components covering all the main functionality of eBusiness Suite. And you can use these components to create your test automation scripts. A component refers to some kind of activity in eBusiness Suite. It could be something like a login, it could be create purchase order header, it could be create purchase order line. And what the user has to do is basically either to use pre-built components, and based out of these components he can create test automation flows which can then be transformed into test automation scripts that can be run against the application. Or if the components that the tester is going to use or would like to use do not exist, then the tester can obviously create his own components or modify existing components based on the customizations that you have done for your eBusiness Suite application. Now, if we would look at one of the existing components, we could take, for instance, in the CRM application, in the customer online, we can look at the create person component. So we right click on the component and choose view. And this will give us the how the component looks like. So in the beginning we will see a keyword saying set app type web. So this is obviously in the self-service part of eBusiness Suite, so it's the web part. It goes to a window called Oracle Customers Online. It starts by clicking on a link, Customers. It waits for the window Organizations to pop up. It clicks on the link Persons, waits for the window Persons to appear, and then it goes in and creates a new person, entering first name, middle name, last name, email address, and so on. And at the very end of this component, the component verifies that a confirmation message is appearing on the screen that the person have actually been created in EBS. From FlowBuilder, I'm also able to look up components in case I don't really know where to find them. So I can, for instance, select the release that I want to work with, the product family, so say it's the lease and finance management. In that, I'm going to use the lease and finance management, and I can select a specific feature, like billing, for instance. And once I search for that, I will then see the various components that I have for the billing feature. In Flow Builder, we can also modify existing components. And to do this, I simply select the component, right-click on it. What happens then is that we will see all the different actions and keywords that makes up this component. In this particular case, we see that we are interacting with a web part of eBusiness Suite. But as you can see, we also have the possibility here to work with forms pages, flex pages, as well as the new ADF controls. It actually even supports working with telnet components. So if you have these telnet handguns that are used for inventories and things like that, that can also be simulated by using Flow Builder. In most cases, your customizations might be that you are adding a control or a number of controls to a screen, or that you are maybe removing things. And in the case that you have added additional controls which needs to be reflected in your components, you can simply go into one of the components and insert a new keyword row. And in this keyword row, we can then select what kind of keyword we want to use. In this particular case, maybe we want to be able to click something. So we select the click, and then what kind of object is it that we want to interact with. Click a button, and the button name is check social security number. The attribute, the object identification name is button SSN. Okay. Now if I would save this component, this new additional user action is going to be part of the component, and whenever we create any kind of new scripts or flows containing this component, this new action is going to be part of it. Let's have a look at the flow sections. The flow section is the place where we have all our predefined test automation flows for Flow Builder. Flow Builder contains over 200 predefined flows covering the main processes of all the various EBS applications. You can use the search if you want to search for a specific flow. So let's do a quick search here. And let's have a look at this flow. So we can view the flow. So this is a fairly long and complicated flow, as you can see. And for each and every of these different components, you can right-click on them and work with the test data that is supposed to be used for this particular component. We can also create our own flows. So if I create a new flow under the customer relationship management section, I right-click, select create flow. I will have to give this flow a name, so it's my new test flow, what type of flow it is, and you can see that we have a verification automatically that checks if this flow name exists or not. I can have some tags here, and then I say create flow structure. The create flow structure gives me a new script basically here. It's an empty container, and I can select from either my favorite components or any other approved component to create my flow. Same here, I can use the search, or I can simply browse through the various components. What I do then is that I just simply pick a number of components that make sense for my particular script, and just drag and drop them into a sequence that makes sense for me for my testing. In this particular case, I can also go in and I can right click on a component to enter test data for this component. I can enter a text that is supposed to be part of this note. And I can save this. Or I could go up on the flow level and I can generate an Excel spreadsheet where I can enter all the data for all the different components that I have in my flow. The Excel spreadsheet is now downloaded, so I can open it up, and I can see here that the test node data is already entered, and for the create task I can go in here and I can create this is my test subject. I can go in and enter all the different data that I need to have here. Once I'm here, I also have the possibility to create component sets. And a component set is multiple components that are grouped together. So let's say that I always use this create note and create task together in a combination. Then I can click on make component set, and it will then make a bundle of these two components into component sets, which I can then use instead of picking these two components every single time. So we assembled the flow, and we are now basically done with that flow creation, if those were the only two components that I needed. From my new test flow, I can now do a couple of different things. So I can generate an Oracle functional testing script, and that can then be used to do test automation on EBS. Or I can generate and download a test plan. So let's download the test plan. Test plan is basically a document that is generated for me that contains information about the test flow that I created. So it has all the information about who it was that created it, any kind of document references, the document control, what the flow name is, any kind of effort. And then it starts to go through all the different actions that are done by the two components that we have. So this is a simple way of getting the documentation for the tests as well. So they are automatically generated by Oracle Flow Builder. So it helps you to keep track on your testing. In the notifications, we have the possibility to have a look at what is happening in our system, what kind of notifications are sent, who is supposed to approve them, and so on. You can even do searches on that. In the history section, we have similar capabilities looking at various historic activities that have been taking place. So you can, for instance, look for component history, component set history, flows, or user history. So everything that is around what has happened inside of the tool is tracked here. In the reportings part, you can create reports based on, for example, components and versions, specific product families, and so on. And you can search for them to figure out how many different components do you have, what status do they have. You can export this into Excel or view data as graphics to give you a better understanding about the amount of components that you have available for your testing, but also, of course, on test flows and such. The admin administration page gives you the possibility to maintain what kind of releases you're working with, the product families, the features, users, as well as things like mail server configuration or function libraries that you have added to Flow Builder. This ends our session. Thank you for watching.